What's up, Hanz family, and welcome to HANZOWEEN. HANZOWEEN is 31 tutorials in the month of October. That means a new video every day. Today is going to be a Blind Seer collab with the amazing Courtney Little. She is so awesome. I love her take on this, so make sure to go check her out as well. All product details will be listed down below as usual, and let's get to the tutorial. I'm starting my face off with blocked brows and a face of foundation already, and then going in with Mehron's Rigid Collodion that I did get from fxcosplay.com. Collodion basically shrinks your skin to kind of create these realistic scars, and you do not want to put it up close to your eye like I'm doing at all. You should not put this by your eyes or your lips or your nose. Mainly kind of keep it more towards your forehead and open skin that's pliable that will kind of stretch into that scar. When it dries, you can intensify the effect by adding on layers, and oh my god, look how it's pulling down my lower eyelid. So funny. If you want that kind of look, you could use Alex Faction's tutorial that he did where it looks like his eye is pulling down with latex, and I'll leave a link down below for that as well. I'm adding on a bit more in a few spots just so that those scars are a little deeper, and then I'm going in with this Mehron mask palette with this gray and kind of green tones. This is a cream paint, and I'm using my beauty blender just to kind of put the color around the outsides of my face and jaw. I wanted her to have just a bit of kind of aged looking color and texture. I'm not really blending this out, I am just patting it in a few little spots, stippling it around. Using my Mehron Bruise wheel, I am going to start taking this red tone and this exact blender brush from Sigma, and I'm going to start putting a little bit of red around the scars and under my eyes. With these scars, I want them to look a little irritated. The skin around them is a little irritated. They are slowly growing back the skin, so there's a lot going on. So I'm just taking the red, and I want to kind of do it very loosely. I don't want to blend it out, and same around the eyes. Taking a little bit of this white and the lightest skin tone in this palette, I'm going to start lightening up the scars and making sure that you can see those. Usually with scars, they are a little bit of a lighter tone because that's new skin being formed, and I really wanted those to pop against the red kind of bruised tones that we have around the eyes and the scars. Using that same white and gray mix, I'm just putting this over my lips so that they kind of blend in with my skin tone, and then adding more Rigid Collodion and doing the exact same thing, just lightening up the scar and darkening around it with a little bit of red. Don't put this too close to your lips like I am, guys. I want you guys to be safe, and I want you to use caution. So if you are going to do this look, just do it close to your lips or close to your eyes, but not all the way up like I'm doing them. You know, with these products, you got to be careful, and make sure to do this in a very ventilated room because it is very, very strong. I'm bringing the pigment down my little lines of my lips a little bit, just so it looks like I'm frowning, and then using a brush to add a little more texture, stippling the gray and green with a little bit of that black tone cream paints around the sides of my face. She's a blind seer lady, but she gotta have an eye on her forehead so that she can actually see what's going on. So I'm using some white body paint just to fill in an eye shape that I drew. You should look at a reference picture when doing this, but I didn't. I've done quite a few drawn on eyes. As you guys have seen in possibly my Jorogumo Spider Lady video, I drew on 4. So I'm just filling that in and then taking the Saucebox palette, and I want to start adding in shading around the eye. I'm doing it on the top of the eye to show that there would be a shadow cast from the eyelid, and just darkening that up as you go. Use a neutral tone palette. The Saucebox one is perfect for that, and you want it to make it look like the center of the eye is popping forward the most since it is circular. Darken up around the iris because usually most irises have a little bit of a dark ring around them. And then add in your pupil with a little bit of black body paint. Draw in where the crease of your eye would be, just a little higher than your actual eye, and first draw the line and then blend that pigment upwards. Same with the bottom of the eye. Your eyes do have a little bit of a crease on the bottom as well, and put a little shadow towards the corner of the eye too, because we want this eye to look like it's really popping off our skin. The tear duct of the eye would be a little glossy, so add a few little pops of highlight there, and one in the center of your lower rim of your eye. If you look at eyes closely, they have these little tiny lines of color, so I'm just taking white body paint and I'm drawing little tiny lines, focusing more towards the bottom of the eye because the top of the iris would be mostly covered in shadow. Shade the iris if you need to, and then we're going to draw on the bright highlights of the eye because the eye is glossy and wet. I'm doing it in 2 little spots, and then I am drawing the ring because usually I am looking in a ring light, so I'm drawing that on the center of my eye, but you wouldn't have to if you're not actually looking into a ring light. I want these eyes to look kind of bloodshot, so I'm using a little bit of red body paint just to lightly add in some veins, and then some black body paint just to draw on the eyelashes. Again, if you've never drawn one before, just use a reference picture. The eyes need to match in with my actual eyes, so I'm just taking that red cream paint from the Bruise wheel and adding in some red bruises around the eye just to have a nice cohesive look. And then darkening underneath my brow bone because that's where lots of shadow would be. Still using the red and brown from the Bruise wheel mixed. And doing it on my lips too because I want my lips to look bruised and fucked up because my lady, I don't know what happened to her. She's all kind of fucked up though. As I was doing this look, I didn't quite know where I was going to go with the chest, so as I was doing the scars, I was like, well, I'll have her look like she has kind of these ritualistic scars on her body itself. So I'm just taking that same red color from that Mehron Bruise wheel that we've been using, and I'm going to just start sketching out some little spots where I want her scars. I didn't have too much of an idea about this, I just kind of wanted it to look like crop circles around her chest, kind of facing up to her face. We're doing it this way because the Collodion needs pliable skin to really shrink into, and I have had a hard time putting it on my chest before, so I just decided to draw it in. Make sure that the red is really messed up. We don't want just nice straight lines. This is where scars have been. Scars are not perfect. They don't usually form perfect lines. They're kind of messy. They have little lines coming from them, so just do that and make this look super, super irritated on her chest. Or his. His or her and everything in between. Whatever. For the center of the scars, use that same mixture we used earlier, the white mixed with the lightest skin tone, and we're just going to put it in the exact center. Still keeping with the fact that these wouldn't be perfect straight lines. You can see I'm not really drawing them on. I'm slowly dabbing them on. And I'm also doing this because you don't really want to disturb much of the red that's going on. If you dab this cream color on top, it should stay pretty opaque. But if you do a lot of blending and swiping, it can mix in with the red to get kind of a pink tone. In the areas where the scars connect, I'm making the white portion a little larger. And then going in with this brown mixed with a tiny bit of red, and I really want to darken up underneath some of these scars so they really pop out even more. Still staying with keeping it very messy. Doing a few fine touches by adding in a little bit more texture with the darker color and tuning up a few of the scars. And let me just put in my contacts. And this, you guys, is the final look. I hope you liked it. My creepy blind seer lady with her eye on her forehead. Very different for what I'm used to doing, but it was fun. Please make sure to check out Courtney. She's the shit. She's so awesome. Such a sweet girl. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys tomorrow.